I just did a news for Fox News Chicago on Gate.
In the last few months in Florida, the doctor was telling me that I am really seeing more like enhancement with filler in my practice.
There was a billionaire who just from a enhancement surgery.
I think a lot of people don't understand, first of all, that how much happens in aesthetics clinics is actually off-label. There's a lot in general. It's off-label. This is like way off-label.
Well, there's no such thing as way off-label, Dom. I mean, it's either on-label or off-label. So, well, people are doing it. It can be done safely. I'm not saying you should. You can also put it in your, I don't know, toenail, but you don't want to do that. So, like, you shouldn't do it. It's not proven. There could be there could be very serious complications. All right. So, the more you pod, we're here to get more of us, more of you, more of Dom. I hate the good morning, how are you? Like, it's just not in my wheelhouse. Like, emails, my wife is like, dude, you sound like such a dick in your emails. I'm like, no, it's just like, hey, I need this. Can we get it by Tuesday? Like, please answer, and then we're done. Like, no hard feelings.
Man, I think we found something I can help you with.
Like,
I think we
I
found
don't want
something
help
that
with
I
it.
could.
I just want like an agent to translate it to people. They can.
No.
I need like an agent to read my emails and be like, please add some fluff to this, and then
No,
boom, it's
it's
done.
not fluff, man. Look, here's the bottom line, right? I was actually talking to some folks about like a good definition of leadership, and I have like my favorite definitions, but I also think this is a really good definition of leadership is that getting other people to do things and have them inspired to actually do them. That is leadership. And it's how you approach it and how you do things. That all of a sudden you got people that are like, I'm going to run through a wall for you. Like I'm super happy to do that. That to me is like the real definition of leadership. And that to me has been incredibly productive. And look, I mean, how many employees do I have, Ben? Like almost 1,000?
500 or something. Yeah.
No, it's almost 1,000. And I
a lot of
make
walls.
sure that, what's that? What'd you say?
That's a lot of walls.
That's a lot of walls. What I like to say though, is that like, I really make sure that I feel like it's a big part of my job to make sure that I'm consistent for them. And I'm consistent in a way where they're like, hey, if Dom's going to call me, he's super intense, but it's all delivered in a way that gets me super inspired by the time I'm off the phone with them. Like, that's how I like to
And I
operate.
think you do a good job. Yeah, you do. And for me, like, it's funny. I think you said it, where you do get in trouble from time to time when your wife says, Dom, I'm not one of your employees.
Yeah,
Because I come home and as a surgeon, people do, they kind of tell me what I want to hear. They do what I want. They kind of have to because it could be a patient safety issue, right? So like patients or surgeons and pilots, when we say something, it has to be done at that moment. It's just like, so I probably don't do the best job of translating that into the real world communications. I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to change. So it's probably easier if you just learn
well,
to
that's a
accept
way to
it
take
and not be
feedback.
offended by it. Yeah.
Jesus
It's not my
Christ.
first time I've had this conversation. But all I can say is it's not out of anything malice.
No
It's just
animosity.
out of
There's no
being productive.
malice or animosity. No. It's
No, it's just like
sometimes
pure productivity and efficiency. I mean, I have a problem with that part of my life.
it's the
So I
surgeon
don't
in
have a problem with that part of my life because I'm like I am. I guess is the answer. I think people would be interested to hear that. I'm sure there's people who hate their boss for that reason, and I'm sure there's bosses that have difficult problems doing this as well.
Well, in my life, I've been obviously an entrepreneur for a lot, but I got like my corporate polish in telecom for like almost 9 years. And I just remember seeing a lot of bosses that I saw them yell a lot. And I was like, yeah, that's not really great.
Mhm.
And I remember I had a boss, the coolest dude in the world, like literally the coolest dude in the world, who said, hey, he's like, you don't need to come to the office anymore. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, he goes, you got this pretty wired now, right? And I go, yeah. And he goes, yeah. So listen, this is how we're gonna operate. You're gonna do your job. You're gonna kick butt. If I ever have to hear about you, then we have a problem. But because just come in and check in with me like once a month. And I worked my butt off for that guy. I worked so hard for them because he actually gave me responsibility. He gave me trust, and I wanted to return that. Like I felt inspired. I thought that was really good leadership. But I've seen the other side of it, and as soon as that other side happens, I for me, the kind of person I am is I just tend to put a wall up, and then I'm like, no. Like,
Yeah.
I want to, because I'm a fighter, so like I take that as fighting, and I'm like, all right, it's fight time now. So, anyways, I think it's good. I'm glad we had this conversation. It's almost feels like a PSA, a little public
Yeah.
service announcement. But are we going to get into the topic tonight? Because the topic is
Yeah, let's
nuts.
go. So, I got into it. I just did a news little clip thing for Fox News Chicago, and on Penis Gate. Do you know what Penis Gate
Yes.
is? Yeah,
Tonight is all about penis gate.
Penis Gate, Crotch Gate. It goes by a couple names.
Yeah.
It has to do with the Olympics and particularly the Olympic long jump skiers, and they are not only them, but there are people putting injections into their penis to make it bigger, and because of that, they have to wear their uniform has to be a little bit larger, and it creates almost this like flying squirrel effect for them to get another 3, 4, 5 meters jump, which can be the difference between gold and silver in these Olympics. These guys are jumping
100%.
like 100 meters, yeah. So
Yeah.
and the math works out that if you can get your schlong a centimeter or two bigger, you can gain
Right.
5 centimeters in your jump because your suit is bigger. And they regulate these suits like they do these 3D scans on these guys super tightly because it's got to be fair. So there's like an Italian surgeon who said he was kind of outing somebody. I don't think he got specific. This is all allegedly, by the way. But
Right.
yeah, that's it. So they just wanted my insights on it. It's obvious. I sent it to Galderma because I used a little filler during the episode. I was like, "Hey, look at I used your filler in this," and they're like, "Yeah, that's off label." I was like, "I did. I said it was off label. I told people not to do it, but I was just informing the public."
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand, first of all, that how much happens in aesthetics clinics is actually off label. There's a lot in general. It's off label, but this is like way off label.
Mm.
Ben is I think just talking
Well,
about
there's
this.
no such thing as way off label, Dom. I mean, it's either on label or off label. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I think people are doing it. It can be done safely. I'm not saying you should. You can also put it in your, I don't know, toenail, but you don't want to do that. So, like,
but
you
let
shouldn't
me
do it. It's not proven. There could be it could be very serious complications. But
sure.
yeah, I mean, it's a fine line from once it's off label, which a lot of us use these products off label, by the way. The
Sure.
labels are super tight. That's how they're not for this reason, maybe, but even, putting the filler deep down on the bone is off label. It's
Sure.
not FDA approved for bone augmentation, most
Right.
of them. So,
But
it's a complicated part of the industry.
correct me if I'm wrong on this, Ben, like when there are certain fillers that have more indications than others. So you may
Yes.
have a certain filler brand that has an indication for like forehead, and another filler doesn't have that indication for forehead. And if you use that in the forehead, it's at least there's another filler out there that is an indication filler.
I see.
There is no indication for filler in the penis. No one's got that indication for any filler.
Not that I'm aware of. Correct.
Yeah.
Now, and by the way, to be equal opportunist, women have asked me to put it in their vulva, in their labia, because
Wow.
it can get atrophied. It can be they can want it tighter for whatever reason, and even in the clitoris, you increase the surface area, they get better sensation. Again, I'm
Oh.
not advising this is off label, and people it's called the G shot is when they put PRP in that area. So I don't think that's on label either. There's probably not many things on label other than radio frequency down in those areas.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
there's the P shot
it's
and the
a
G shot. Yeah.
what's that?
Well, I've heard it called the P shot,
Yeah.
is I
Well,
think
that's
for the
the oh,
guys.
with probably with PRP, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
PRP to give it some stem cells, some increase the blood flow in theory.
Right.
But yeah, so it's a fine line, and I don't think I don't think there's it was off label till it was on label, most of this stuff, to be honest. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if you're using a cannula and da da da, and you can do it safely, like I'm sure the first time we injected somebody's lips, somebody was like, "What the hell are they doing to people's lips? Oh my god,
Right.
holy smokes!" And they're like, "Well, let me do an article. Let me publish this. That the complications
Yeah.
are pretty low," and they did it.
Yeah. You know, funny enough, on this penis gate, the penis gate is more because we were looking to buy a clinic in the last few months in Florida and spend time with the doctor and talking and blah blah blah. And the doctor was telling me that, hey, Um, I am really seeing more like penis enhancement with filler, like escalating quite a bit in my practice. Like I have lots and lots of that happening in my practice more than ever before. Um, and they were just saying like, look, this is what's trending right now in general. So if you heard that too, Ben?
Well, I mean, this article alone is going to increase it. Trust me. I guarantee people reach out to me for it now because I was in the news for it. Um, and you know, yeah, it's definitely going up there. I had a nurse that was trying to get me to do it. She's like, "Oh, people are paying a ton of money. You should do it." And I'm like, "You are going to necrose off the wrong guy's penis, and he's going to kill us all." So I would be really careful with that because you
Yeah.
know that's one area that actually there was a billionaire who just died from a penis enhancement surgery.
No
If you,
way.
yeah, it was in. I think it was in Europe. Yep, he was a billionaire guy going to get a penis enhancement, and he died in the clinic. I don't
Yo,
think it was filler.
just for a side note, we never ended up buying that clinic. We were a
No.
little bit uncomfortable about that. But I hear what you're saying, Ben. Like it's way,
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty off label
Yeah.
and it's situation. Just staying on that same theme right now. I know there are some doctors who will inject filler for breast augmentation. I
Yeah.
have I've seen that like same thing, right? Like, I mean, that is it pretty dangerous? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, again, it's off label. I think Sculptra is the one that people use decently for like the BBL as well, the Brazilian butt lift. Off label, technically not that complicated, meaning it could be done safely, very likely, right? If you until somebody does the study, we're going to just say it's off label, don't do it. But
Sure.
I could see somebody doing that study, proving it's safe, the complication rate's relatively low, and being okay with it.
Well,
The particularly the penis, like an end organ or a fingertip, you don't want to inject things where the blood goes this way, and if you stop it, it's going to necrose and die. Whereas, like if you get a little necrosis on your cheek, it sounds horrible, but there's blood flow around it. You get a little hyperbaric. You know, pretty much you can treat that these days. We have the
right.
mechanisms to make that not be a horrible life, altering complication. Whereas the penis, or same with the breast, you're not going to, of course, the whole breast off because it's so big and there's all this blood supply. But the penis is one of those ones that is like an end organ. You want to be careful. Yeah.
That makes sense. And sorry, you mentioned using sculpture for that. Why sculpture instead of HA in that
I think
situation?
just the probably one, the longevity. Two, they can put a ton of it because they'll add a bunch of saline to it, dilute it, and I don't have a good answer. I don't do it, but it was Sculptra first. You know, a couple, and then for the HA, it takes a lot of HA to make a change in the butt or the boobs.
I was gonna say,
Whereas
it's gonna say you're talking a lot of syringes.
yeah, you're talking. I mean, guess how many syringes they're putting in these penises?
How
Guess,
many?
guess.
I would say like 2 to 3.
20 to 30.
What?
That's why this doctor's
What?
doing them. Think about it. That's why maybe you wanna buy that Florida clinic now, huh, Dom? That's why they're doing them. People are paying 10, $15,000 for these.
Are you kidding me? That is a tremendous
Yeah,
amount of filler.
yeah.
Oh my
It's
god,
it's a
you just shocked me. I did
yeah,
not
I
know
I was
that.
researching it for this news clip I was on, and sometimes they'll do it over, like, a week or a series and, but yeah, 10 like, anywhere from 10 to 30. 30 was the most I found, but 10 is the norm.
Oh my gosh, Ben. Okay, so that should make anybody, I think,
Scared.
like, pretty nervous about that. Like, that is a
Yeah.
lot of filler.
A lot of filler in a not a huge volume area. Again, like that's the thing about the breasts or the buttocks. You're going to need 50 ml to make a change.
Holy
10
mother,
ml you're not going to notice in the breast. 10
no.
ml is nothing. So it's just going to be, it's like astronomical. It ends up being, I think they, don't quote me on this, but one of the Kardashians they said did the sculpture of BBL, and she paid like 70 grand. Because you just need a lot of product. I mean, for the people out there, the products are expensive themselves. Every vial's $300-$400. So you're putting 50 of them in there, then you're already to whatever, 15 grand of product.
Dude, that just, sorry, let's just, not to get personal here, but, like, 20 vials of HHL in your junk, that would be kind of heavy. Like, it feels
Yeah,
like that might
I
be kind of
mean,
heavy. Like,
that's the point, Dom. I think, and honestly, I think once it gets erect, that you don't even really see it. It only happens when it's flaccid. The people like it, like it. So there's the Olympic people, but those aren't the people going to the place in Florida. The people going to the
right.
place in Florida are just guys at the gym that want it to show through their sweatpants or when they're swimming. That's what people want.
Jesus God, man.
It's
Holy
messed
cow.
up.
Hard to date in 2026. Like we learned that from our matchmaking
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot
uh
about that one. I was like, yeah, yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Um, but I mean, that's just a lot, man. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
a lot of
And I
volume.
guess
Yeah, yeah,
here's
yeah.
the interesting thing, like when you're talking about putting that much like in the breast or something like that, is that 15 months later, you're gonna have to do it again. What's the strangest place you were ever asked to? I mean, I guess vulva's
Yeah,
probably right up
the
there.
strangest was women asked me to put in their labia. I
Yeah.
didn't do it, by the way. I sent them to a guy that I know that does it though, because it's not out of the question, you know. But a few ml in the labia apparently like beefs it up enough that people are relatively satisfied with that procedure.
Yeah, and probably something like you wanna probably have, like, a little bit of practice and expertise in, like, that's probably not
Yeah,
something you
you would. I would say you
just
would want like a
do.
plastic surgeon that does the labiaplasty stuff, or a urologist, or a gynecologist, even, or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be my.
I mean, I just don't wanna sorry, I don't wanna go too deep here, but just man, I mean,
No,
first of all,
penis
that's
gates. I mean, this is gonna be a hot topic. I think it's got, you know, I think people are gonna
penis
like this
gate is
one. It's
definitely
the
more
Olympics.
you.
Yeah.
It's what I
Well, it's definitely more you. Yeah.
it's definitely more
Definitely more
you.
you.
But I'm just kinda just thinking of, like, I don't know. I don't know, just state of the union of, like, the world right now. Like, man, like, I understand that people wanna do more to feel good about themselves. So I'm totally great with that. Like this is what our business is all about. I think that's so totally fine. And I guess if someone wants that in their penis because that's going to make them feel more confident, I get that. Like I think that's cool. Um I'm just more concerned about safety. That's all I'm like concerned about.
Yeah,
I
I
just,
think
I just want safety,
that
you
should
know.
be number one. I mean, my thing's always like safety, enjoyment, satisfaction. It's kind of got to go in that order, really. You know, for these elective cases. But safety should always kind of be number one.
God dang, man. Do you
Yeah.
see I never asked you this actually. When you think about surgery, like different types of surgery trend at different times. Is that right?
It's interesting. I'm publishing an article on this right now. How my surgeries changed in relation to like trending hashtags on social media. I did an article with one of the residents. Um, it depends because I would say probably more than the positive, it's the negative. So when people are negative about a surgery, when they show really bad rhinoplasties, people hold back on it. It's much easier to scare the fear mongering of this type of stuff is much easier than the you should do this, because when people want to do it, they normally have it in their mind. They got to be thinking about it. But to scare somebody out of it, it's easier. So I think and that's what our article find, by the way.
But is that but let me take it a different direction. Like you have all these people out there seeing all these miraculous, amazing things that you're doing with Jaws.
Yeah,
And
true.
they're like, is it possibly though a thing where people are like, God, I didn't even know that you could do that. Like I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, I had actually yesterday had a woman DM me, and she's like, "Oh, I'm looking at between you and this other surgeon, and you're much more convincing." And I was like, "Well, I'm not trying to convince anybody. I don't want you to do it for me. Like, I'm just showing you there's options." So, you know, I have children. I don't want people to see the social media and think they need this. But the point is, if you want it, we can do it safely. It can be enjoyable. We can get you satisfaction. So, yeah, it's a hard part of my career, really. I mean, listen, I'm part of the problem of a society, you would definitely argue, right? I mean, people hate on plastic surgeons all the time. So I hate
That's not
when
bro.
somebody tells me that they feel as though I'm convincing them they need it. I don't know that that's the case. I think they kind of want it, and they're like, "Yeah, this guy seems like he could do a good job." But yeah,
No, I think
it's yeah.
I think it's more along the lines, Ben, of again, just showing people what's possible.
Mhm.
Like, you're just showing people, like, this is possible, and I think for a lot of people, people are kinda shocked, like, "I did not know that's possible." I mean, especially when you're talking about Jaws. Like, when you're talking about I always wanted a great jawline, and you never could get it, and then you all of a sudden see, like, I can have that? I can actually
Yeah.
have that? Like, that's gonna change how I look, it's gonna change how I feel, it's gonna change how like, my overall
It's
confidence, like,
it's
that's
one of those,
amazing.
aesthetically, I mean, it's a very attractive part of the body. And I mean, there's good literature. The most presidents have a strong jawline. Most
Mm,
presidents of the United States cephalometrically have a strong jawline.
that's
Most.
really interesting. But you know
Yeah.
what? I think it's for men and women
No, of
because,
course. Probably almost even more men, to be honest.
I mean, women who have, like, a fantastic jawline, you're like,
Yeah.
"Wow." That's
Yeah.
very hot, right?
Yeah.
Very, very, very
It's
hot.
I always say like man, woman, trans, gay, straight, black, white, Asian, Hispanic. It doesn't matter. Everybody likes a nice jawline. Now you can adjust them for each point in your life or each genetic
Sure.
kind of setup, but it's you got to tweak it, and you don't want to make anybody look odd or atypical. But everybody, even when you're 90, you're gonna want your jawline to look good. You're gonna be sick of the neck if it's dripping. So I chose it
What
for
do
a
you do
reason.
about that? What happens with the neck when the neck starts drooping? What do you do about that?
Yeah, I mean, I just did a neck lift today.
Oh,
You pull it
that's
back.
just straight neck lift
Yeah,
right
neck
there?
lift. Neck, lower face kind of tapers into there. Yeah, there's
Is
a
that
whole.
is that an easier one?
No, I wouldn't say
I mean, none
easier.
of them
No,
are
it's a
easy.
little. It's
None of them
it's
are easy,
it's
but
it takes long, and it's more cuts and stuff, but it's a little more straightforward, I would say. Like when
okay.
you're younger in your career, a neck lift is can be a little because you're gonna tighten things back. You put them when you're returning people to where they were. Uh, it can be a little easier than if you're actually augmenting or changing things.
I
So
see.
I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, you got to have a little more foresight in the latter.
Is that a long recovery or a short recovery?
You look pretty stupid for like 2 weeks, 2 3 weeks.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's about them. That's what I tell most people.
You're gonna look stupid for 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
Just
stupid.
deal with
3 weeks, your sister-in-law is going to be like, "What'd you do to yourself?" So that's my breakdown.
it.
If people
You
want to
it
hide it,
it
that's like the story.
2 weeks of looking stupid, and then all of a sudden, it's like, something's different about you.
Yeah, it is.
I like that. I
That's
like
that's
that.
how it goes. Um,
Okay.
what else? What else is going on in the world, Dom? I think. What about the economy in Canada? I feel like it's
I
popping
would
here in the U.S.
I would tell you that the
This might be the
economy.
only international podcast, by the way,
Yeah, no kidding, right?
that happens
Yeah, it could
internationally.
be.
Could be.
I would tell you that, the economy in Canada feels much better than it did in the first half of 25. I think it still has a long way to go. I think there's still a lot of folks that are uncertain about what the next several months are gonna look like, just with,
Mhm.
you know, tariffs and trade
Yeah.
uncertainty and all that. But I mean, Canada's up and trying to figure out other people to trade with. I mean, that's just the bottom line. So that's actually giving people, I think, a bit more comfort. So I think that from an economy standpoint, it's just starting to help people just feel better.
Yeah.
And because they're feeling better, they're wanting to be out and spend more money and
Yeah.
be able to go to restaurants and stuff. But I notice I travel around the US a lot, obviously, because
Yeah.
I'm traveling a lot. One thing that really shocked me, so I was in Beverly Hills. I was seeing one of our clinics out there, which is Ava MD. Um, I was going through Beverly Hills. I cannot tell you how many places were shut down, how many
Yeah.
places were boarded up. I was shocked. Like,
It,
and
yeah.
Ben, I'm not telling you like a few. I'm telling you like it felt like I'm probably wrong about this, but it felt like it was every like seventh or eighth store like was just like shut down.
California is, I think, particular part of the U.S. too that is going through a lot of transitioning right now, and the politics there and everything. So, I think Chicago's bounced back pretty good. We had that phase, the post-COVID kind of phase. It's coming back pretty dang good here. It feels like. We
Yeah.
definitely have, there's definitely been some transitioning, I think, but overall, the economy here, at least in Chicago, and I was in Utah a couple weeks ago, it you know, seems good. People are spending money. People are out. Definitely surgically, they're buying surgeries. So I'm a pretty good indicator, I feel like, of the economy, my schedule and my leads.
Sure.
Or I can kind of tell, and it feels good.
Yeah, like one thing I would say, I mean, Chicago's a bit of an engine, so it just
Yeah.
keeps going, and maybe it doesn't see kind of like the as much waves as
Yeah.
maybe some things on the coast. But one thing that really like shocks me about California every time I go to California is so for quite a long time, say food in Canada. Food in Canada was more expensive than it was in the US. Kind of makes sense because they don't grow as much of their own food and
Yeah.
have to bring a lot of food in and all that kind of thing. But what was really surprising is I was just in San Diego a few weeks ago. The food in San Diego is more expensive in US dollars than food in Canada. So something that cost like $11 in Canada actually costs $11 Canadian, cost $13 US, and that's a shock when I go there because it's really surprising. And so, for us, we look at kind of discretionary spend and where that discretionary spend is and how people are feeling about that. And I would say like we're fortunate that our demographic is probably have a bit more discretionary spend than other demographics. So it's helpful in that sense. I would say that the Canadian consumer has kind of come back quite a bit. And I would say in these centers where you have, again, a demographic that has more of that spend, like you're still seeing that people are comfortable and people are spending dollars and doing things right. So what I
Yeah.
haven't seen in the industry right now, like 25, like research was down in our industry, which tells you
Mm.
that the sponsors just didn't quite have the money or the confidence,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So that's an
Yeah,
indicator.
that's a good indicator of the people that know, I guess, huh?
Yeah. But 26 is looking better. Like 26 is, there's more studies out there, the more of those kind of things. So we see that in our industry a bit. The one thing the one thing that our industry hasn't had right now, and I think when the economy's really buzzing and things are happening, there's just more new things coming out. And it just feels like at the moment that there is nothing, that's mega, mega exciting that's like come
Mhm.
out as of late. Like I
And you
think the
mean
last
by the industry, you're talking about the aesthetic, the
the
cosmetic
aesthetic
industry?
industry, like devices
Yeah.
and stuff like that, right? Like
Yeah.
I mean, soft wave is pretty exciting. Like people like that
Yeah.
and they're excited
Yeah,
about
I have
that.
a friend that has it, he loves it.
Yeah. So that's a good one, but nothing coming out where you're gonna go like, "Oh my gosh, like, that's so exciting," and that gets people to come into the clinic and new people to come into the clinic because they've heard about it. So I just don't think in the moment we have anything in industry that's creating that kind of buzz,
Yeah.
right?
I feel you. Yeah.
It's almost like you're getting things that do things better, like soft wave is
A little bit
is
better than the
right,
Morpheus, for
right?
instance. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just kinda doing it better, and for all the people out there listening, like in our industry, it's not just how effective something is, it's also how much pain is involved is a factor, because it's hard to get people to say, "Hey, I wanna do 3 of these," and you need to do 3 of these to get, the full effect. It's like, "The first time hurt like a son of a bitch, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do that again." So, devices getting better, getting less painful, those are all, like, what I would just say more evolutionary than
Yeah.
revolutionary right now.
Yeah,
Best way to say
that's
it.
a fair vibe. That's why you gotta lean in on surgery, Dom. Gotta invest in surgery.
Dude, I have I
Surgery ain't
have
going anywhere.
I have some of the best surgeons in the world,
Oh,
and
there you
so
go.
I'm super fortunate. Um,
Uh,
anyway,
nice. Okay, hey, hold on. To transition a little bit, we got to
yeah,
give a shout out to MD Hyperbaric,
we do.
which my Hyperbaric machine is going to be active in less than 10 days, I believe. So MD
Yes.
Hyperbaric, which I now have in my office, is a medical grade hyperbaric machine that, as we like to say, jams oxygen into your blood and helps you heal. It's in the longevity space now. Um, Brian Johnson just did a whole podcast on like I think he ranked HBOT, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, as the number one thing he thinks makes a difference for longevity. So that's huge.
Yeah, no, amazing, and MD Hyperbaric, again, has the absolute high-end chambers that actually are proper, they're not inflatable chambers, they're hard chambers, you're gonna get the full effect if you're actually gonna be sitting in one of these, and Ben, I can't wait to come back to Chicago, sitting at MD. I mean, actually, you know what? We're gonna have to have a meeting, you're gonna just have to be I think I'll be in
Yeah,
the tank, and you can be out of the tank, like,
give
can
you a
we
little
do that?
mic, you'll be fine.
Yeah, well, a little bike will be totally
I think we can
fine.
do it as long as it doesn't make a spark.
As long as we're not sparking, we're totally
Yeah.
fine. But MD Hyperbaric is where you go when you want actually the best for hyperbaric. We're super pumped. We love these guys. We love them so much. We put one in our office, and it's all happening. So Ben, I think on some of future podcasts, we want to get your take after being
Yeah.
in the hyperbaric chamber for
I've been
sure.
in them, so I know, but I will give you my feedback, full stop, no questions asked.
That's it.
MD Hyperbaric, check them out. We appreciate them sponsoring the show.
MDhyperbaric.com. Let's go to them. Let's get some oxygen jammed up.
Olympic people can jump on this trend, and I bet they are. By the way, I bet the Olympic athletes are doing hyperbaric daily.
Oh, they
I
gotta
don't think
be.
that's banned or anything. Yeah,
They gotta be doing it.
yeah.
Or they're just putting their penis in the hyperbaric.
Oh, they could just maybe we could make a little mini hyperbaric. Yeah, I like it, Dom. You're onto something. He said it first.
The only reason I'm saying that is we were talking about penis gate tonight, and so I
Oh,
was just
what
saying,
are you talking
like,
about? We didn't say anything about. I don't know what you're talking about, Dom.
what are you
There
talking
you go.
about,
That's your
Dom?
first clip there,
Where's your head at with
Bobby.
that?
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else is going on in the world, Dom. I don't know
No,
what
that's
else
it,
we
man.
could give the people to make them get more of them.
Quick and fast, man. More you podcast. Rock and roll.
There you go. More you for real. If you want penis injections, don't do it.
Follow us, subscribe, do all of it. Thank you.